had big decisions today. Was I going to bike or just go for a hike? I don't know. The mood just kind of didn't strike me to go for a bike ride today, so I decided we're going to go have some breakfast, lunch out in the bush. And I decided to make a quest. I'm going to search for some fatwood. And the only place I knew, because you got to go pretty high around this place to get to pine. So the only place I knew was here, Spectacle Lake. There's a few other high locations, but this one's got a nice parking lot, and I can actually hike out of the park. So yeah, we're gonna do a little wood cooking today, I think. This is one of the many streams that feed into Spectacle Lake. I think there's 3 little creeks that feed into it. The one cool thing about Spectacle Lake, it's one of the only lakes on the island that has eastern brook trout in it. I don't know, my buddies caught like 3 out of them. They're very rare, but they're still in this river. They're still in this system, this small system. So it's pretty cool to see, because most of the time it's just there's some, what do they call, tripole, the hatchery cutthroat or hatchery rainbow. There's some wild cutthroat in here, but there is some eastern brook trout. And when he caught them, he showed me pictures of them. They're something else to see, especially way out here on the west coast. This is I believe this is the largest of the 3. You see, nice little creeks. Now it's the entrance to the lake. Just beyond these reeds is the entrance to the lake. I've used my belly boat a few times in here. So it's a really nice lake to fish. Very small, but really nice to fish. This is quite the spot. Totally dry under here. I mean, overhang, complete overhang. You have water, which, you'd still want to boil it, but you have an endless water supply. If you had a life straw, you're good to go. Clean this out. Long fire right there. Man, you could hunker down here for real nice and be really comfortable. We're still in the park though, and we're not far from the vehicle, but a really cool example of natural shelter you wouldn't have to do much with. So this is the second dry day we've had in a row. Just to show you, look at the runoff on the trail. It's just, you're hiking in a little bit of a stream, everything's wet. Tree branches, even the dead ones that are low, you can feel they're really damp. They don't have that snap to them. They're being real dry. Like that one's pretty, you can feel they're very damp. So you may think that's dry wood. It's not. So kept walking back into pine. If you've never collected pine sap before, sometimes it can be hard to see, but what you'll look for is you'll look for a nodule like this, and then you can see underneath that nodule is the pine sap. So I'll just take my Ziploc bag. That in there, some there, and see most of the time it just falls off. You don't even need the knife to pry it off. That's another nodule, just to show you. That one's really quite dry. So that one will be really good because that'll make it'll make like a dust. That one. Rotten. It just smells rotten. That's definitely it. But it's too far gone. We need something just a tad fresher. So right on the side of the trail, I found this one. This stump, you can see it's got pitch coming out of it. Grab you guys here. Oh, look at that. That's a little sideways. See the pitch there? So, I think that guy's going to be chock-a-block full. So, oh, that's Fatwood. That just reeks of turpentine. I know you can even see the sap in it. Yeah, we're gonna go for this whole chunk here. There we go. That's what we want. This piece here. Look at the sap in that. Look at it. That's all just sap. Okay, let's process what we want out of this thing. Look at that. Center. Oh. Look at that center. This is probably definitely the more rotten side of it. Yeah, it's got no, it's got no turpentine-y smell to it. So you know it's no good. I gotta say, filming everything with a GoPro, they're nice, light, compact, they're weather, but they're tough because I don't know what you guys are seeing. I have to kind of guess at what you guys are filming at, what you guys are looking at. So let's do some. Because this is the beauty of the Fatwood, right? Should be able to scrape it off. And it should take a ferro rod. Oh. It's burning. Burning. A lot of moisture in this log below it, but that lit. So, good fatwood harvest. So yeah, I'm gonna try to bundle these up a little bit better, and then we'll be on our way and we'll find a nice spot. Looks like a nice ridge up that way. So we'll head up that way and we'll make some lunch. So I've come out on a fire road, you can see, right? There's lots of crisscrossing trails. I came out of that trail right there. It's tagged with blue ribbon. You can see there's a trail that crosses it. I think a lot of people get lost. It's because they just come out and keep walking. Always, like me personally, I always stop. I look back at my situation and I go, oh, I might have made a right coming off the trail. But if you remember right, you're going to come back this way. You're going to go, oh, I made a right. You know, you don't know. You know, it's a downhill. I came uphill onto it, and I want to make a left going back off of it. And so you should always, when you come up and you come to an intersection, and you finally do decide on your direction of travel, is travel a bit, stop, and turn back and look at where you came from. Because when you come back through, that's what you're going to see. It's not going to be what you see coming up through it. I think a lot of people get lost that very easily. Like, I don't travel with a compass out here because really you're not more than a day's hike away from anything. And if you had to spend one night, you got to spend one night if you really didn't plan properly. But a lot of people get lost because they don't look at where they came from. They're just so goal orientated. They're just like, I'm going, I'm going, I'm going. Well, just stop. First of all, enjoy where you are and look back at any junction you came upon. So we made it to the top of the ridge. You can see it's more of a plateau. There's another mountain in the background there. This is the site I'm picking. Pretty open. I looked up for any dead trees. There's one there. You know, I'm not too concerned about that. But there's lots of firewood on the lower parts of these trees. These are some of these pines. So I don't have to go far for dry firewood. It's just, you know, look at all of it on that one. You know, so that makes that easy. It's a nice open clearing. I mean, I'm not going to pull away any of the moss because I got the 180 stove. It's got a nice little bottom to it. I'll set up and then we'll get a little fire going. And so, never using fatwood before, first time harvesting it. I don't know if it's probably wet. It took a little bit more than I thought. I actually pulled out a little bit of dryer lint and Vaseline to get it going. I shaved it really thin. Also, I have to admit, the 180 stove, because it's on that stainless surface, everything likes to move and slide. So, makes it very difficult. But we're burning now. Pieces of fatwood and shavings that went awry a couple times when I slipped. I am no expert. Far from an expert. I'm a guy that likes to do multiple things outdoors. So when you're watching my videos, you're watching me learn at the same time. Okay, a couple pieces of bread, a little olive oil if I need it, I will. A Hungarian sausage, salt and pepper. This is how I carry my eggs. So all I do is I cut off 2 eggs, put them in a container, pop the lid on. Cheap, easy, nice way to travel eggs. So I'm going to basically make an egg sandwich. And you can see the fire is really nice, going nice now. There's a little 180 stove going away. We'll get a nice bed of coals going and start some water going. Tea. And we'll start the and this will go with a little Earl Grey. So, boil number 1 done for my tea. There's some crunchy bits in there, but I'm okay with that. I want a little more water. Boil number 2, because I pulled this out of the freezer. It hasn't had time to thaw, so we're just gonna almost thaw it though. Well, maybe. I'm just gonna put it in the water and let it boil, and then what we'll do is we'll crisp it up on the actual fire and give it a nice little. So you can see I'm boiling my sausages. Or sausage cut in half, plural. And the reason I'm doing that is I don't think I could have, cooked it. This is a faster way to cook it, and then I can put it on the grill surface, and give it that smoky fire taste. It's really boiling now. I'll take her off there. And then I know I'm not gonna get, something really bad and have to worry about getting sick or anything like that. Toast on a campfire is the best tasting toast, and that's, I agree. Anybody cooking over an open fire with the smoke, and I don't know, that does a nice toast job. It does the best. It's the best taste, period. Comes out nice. I love the non-stick. nicely cooked. So there you guys go. Sausage, egg on toast. Let's give her a taste test. And a cup of tea to wash it down. So this is how I test for hot coals. Be very careful, but you know, it's warm, but definitely do not want to burn down the forest. I think it's safe to scatter. We'll just scatter it. That way it's not clustered together. Feel around with my hand. Feels good. Ground's just warm from the plates themselves. You see they do warp a bit, but you can massage them back to shape really easy. Let's use the edge. The pieces all come apart. These guys slide together. That guy goes like that. This guy goes on like that. And slip the outer edges. Because they spring quite a bit, slip the edges like so. Ash pan goes on like that. Goes like that. And I give you these lovely heavy duty Velcro. They are quite heavy duty. Goes that way. Goes that way. Packed down 180 stove. Beautiful little thing. Nice part is the ash pan covers the actual dirty parts, the bottom of the ash pan, so you don't really get a lot of soot inside your pack. Check it out. It's a neat little thing. So, one look around the campsite. That's where we were. You see a little bit of disturbance, but you know, one good storm rolls through here, you would never even know. It's a neat spot. I have to remember it. It would be a really good spot for an overnighter. And I think this would be the spot I'd go. Right here. Put the tarp off this rock, tie it to this tree, clean off some of this branch and stuff like that. You get a fire right here. You heat off the rock. So that's a neat spot. I have to remember it. So you want to bring our buddy up. We'll do an overnighter here. Trick is though, you're up quite a ways up from water, so you have to pack all your water up here. So you gotta take that in consideration. You know, if you're gonna cook a lot of water and drink a lot of food, eat a lot of food and drink a lot of water, then yeah, you gotta consider that. Okay, guys, that's probably the end of it for me.